Weeds. There are thousands of weeds in the world, but the only ones that really matter are the ones in your yard. Using herbicides to kill weeds is an option, but they shouldn't be your first line of defense. Instead, good lawn care practices are the best way to prevent weeds in the first place. Let's see what yard Doctor Trey Rogers has to say about weeds.
Whether it's a good lawn that's gone bad or a lawn that never was, take heart. We're just talking about weeds here. We can get rid of them. Now you may have to start with a herbicide to get rid of those weeds, but to keep those weeds out, I need you to think lawn care practices, the three main ones. You have to mow correctly, you have to fertilize correctly, and you have to water correctly. If you do those three things, you'll keep these weeds out.
There are three things you need to do right. Think of lawn care as a three-legged stool. Your lawn is the top of the stool, and each leg represents one of the three important lawn care practices. Here's what you have to do so you don't topple the stool and weaken your lawn, allowing weeds to grow in. Mow correctly. There is a right way to do it. Never, ever scalp the lawn. Some people actually mow their lawns too short, thinking they won't have to mow as often, but they really are damaging the turf and inviting weeds to take over. Mow only 1/3 the length of the grass each time you mow. Feed your lawn. This is something you should do at least once a year. 2 times is better. 3 times is ideal. If you leave your grass clippings on the lawn rather than bagging them, that counts as one fertilization. Water. Every plant needs water. Whether you rely on rainfall or your garden hose, your lawn needs about an inch of water a week. Do these 3 things right, and your lawn will be healthy and able to stand up to any weeds that try to grow in. If your lawn is filled with weeds, well, you may have to reset the clock by using herbicides to kill weed growth. But then, be diligent about your lawn care practices to avoid big weed problems in the future. Let's look at the top 2 weeds that can be found in yards across America: dandelions and crabgrass. They provide an excellent lesson on how to eliminate existing weeds. All weeds fall into 2 classifications: annual, meaning they grow from seed each spring and die back in fall, like an annual flower, and perennial. They keep coming back year after year. The dandelion is a perennial broadleaf weed. It shows up every spring, growing both from seeds and underground extensions of its roots. The very best time to control broadleaf perennial weeds like the dandelion is in fall, not in spring, when you see all of the yellow flowers. Dandelions germinate, or begin to sprout, in fall, setting themselves up for the following year. Use a post-emergence weed killer, which you can apply as a weed and feed product or on its own. Crabgrass is a grassy annual weed. For these annual weeds, you must go after them in spring, before their seeds sprout and the plants emerge. Use a pre-emergence crabgrass killer as the soil temperature warms up to 60 degrees. If you see yellow forsythia bushes blooming in your neighborhood, this is your signal that it's time to apply crabgrass killer. Your end goal is to create and maintain a healthy, thick lawn that won't give weeds a chance. Mow, fertilize, and water correctly, and weeds shouldn't be a problem.